All right, I'm here to talk about deadlifts for people with chronic back pain or persistent back pain that are typically untrained or not comfortable in a gym environment. Now, deadlifts can be quite confronting because the movement is effectively bending over and picking something very heavy off the ground. Now, that is normally a mechanism of injury for people with back pain, or for someone who hasn't experienced an injury. That movement itself can be quite challenging. So by me telling them that that's the best way for them to recover and it's a vital part of their rehab, sometimes I get a little bit of resistance. And so I have to, what's the logic in doing that? And sometimes this is backed up by beliefs of other medical professionals that aren't up to date with modern pain science and strength and conditioning principles. So effectively I have to justify why I want them to start bending over and picking heavy things up when that causes them pain. All right, so it's very important that I connect with my clients and I develop a good trust relationship with them so they believe in me and they believe what I'm doing. So I always try and spend extra time to make sure they fully understand what's going on. So my first justification lies with strength and function. All right, strength and function are tied together because strength does build function. The stronger we are, the better our joints and muscles function. So when we're looking at somebody who's in pain, typically they have protective behaviors. So they avoid doing certain things that hurt, all right? And if bending is one of the things they're avoiding, then the muscles in the back, muscles in the hips and the hamstrings, muscles that are generally at work during that sort of movement, become deconditioned because they're out of use. And it's a very simple idea that if you don't use it, you lose it. Particularly as you get older, that's more accelerated. So if they have been protective and have been avoiding behaviors, it's an easy sell to be like, well, these muscles are now weak, or they're out of use. So what we're trying to do here in the gym is build them back up, improve their contribution to the movement, and ensure that bending over to pick something off the ground is no longer an effort, it becomes easier. And you can use the logic that if you can pick 20, 30, 40 kilos off the ground without pain, then bending over to pick up your kids is not going to hurt. Right. My second point of justification is where I delve more into the modern pain science. Now, this is a little bit less understood, so it takes a little bit longer to explain. I use a little bit more analogies to make sure the client's understanding of what I'm trying to get across. And I use it a lot through my exercise sessions. So the number one I always start with is that pain doesn't equal damage. All right, so we can have damage without pain, and we can have pain without damage. Okay, so this sort of de-escalates the idea that, okay, just because I'm hurting doesn't mean that something's going wrong. All right, and this is a big learning curve for a lot of people. So pain originates in the brain. All right, it's just felt in the body. So pain is a protector for us. It's an alarm system for the body. All right, a classic example of this is if someone injures their back while picking something up off the ground. Okay, once they've recovered, they might try and do the same thing again. The brain goes through a period of evaluation. Okay, it goes, well, have we been here before? Muscle memory, yes we have. We were injured, 3 days in bed, had to take the week off work, not good. Okay, well, we're not comfortable doing this again. So, sends out the message, pain's experienced in the lower back, and you go, oh, not doing that, my back hurts. All right, so that's how it works. When it doesn't become advantageous, right, when it starts to become negative on our health, is when this persists for longer than 3 months. Okay, so most tissues will heal in that time if they have an injury. If it's continually causing us pain for 3 months, 3 years, 30 years, then what we have is the areas become oversensitized. Okay, so the brain has become overprotective. So how we desensitize an oversensitized area is by repeated exposures to the similar movement. All right, so for bending over, it's deadlifts. Okay, and over time we can recondition the muscles, the nervous system starts to calm down, the brain stops believing that the movement is dangerous, and we get less pain. A good analogy is when you have super cold hands from coming outside. It's a winter's day and you want to jump in the shower, you put your hands in the shower, hot water, and you go, oh, that's really painful. I can't handle it right now. So you wait a little bit, try and put it back under. Nah, it's still uncomfortable. But the third or fourth time, you're like, oh, that's heaps better. And the body adjusts. All right, similar thing.